You have been waiting weeks to hear back after a job interview. Then one afternoon, your phone rings. We would like to offer you the position. You hang up. You smile. You might even call your family to tell them. For a few minutes, you are genuinely happy. Then, almost without noticing, your mind changes direction. What if I can't actually do this job? What if I disappoint them? The excitement hasn't even settled yet, and your brain is already bracing for something to go wrong. Most people assume happiness and anxiety work like opposites. If one shows up, the other should disappear. But for a lot of people, it's the reverse. The happier they get, the more alert they feel. Almost like some part of their mind is saying, don't relax yet. Something usually goes wrong after this. So that's really the question this video will answer. Why does a good moment sometimes make your mind more nervous instead of less? Just imagine, your relationship is going well. Your partner has been consistent, kind, honest for months. And instead of relaxing into how safe it feels, you catch yourself thinking, what if they leave? Nothing happened to trigger that thought. They didn't pull away. The fear just showed up on its own, right when things got good enough to actually lose. This trips a lot of people up because it feels backwards. Life finally starts improving, and instead of feeling peaceful, they feel tense and start wondering what's wrong with them for not being able to just enjoy it. But the honest answer usually isn't that they dislike happiness. Your mind doesn't really learn that logic. It learns through repetition. If good moments have been followed by painful ones often in your life, your brain starts making quiet prediction. Don't relax too much. Something bad usually happens after this. It's not trying to ruin the good moment. It's trying to keep you from being blindsided again. There's a simple version of this you can probably picture. Someone whose phone only rings late at night when there's a bad news. After enough of those calls, hearing the phone ring at 11 p.m. makes their heart jump, even on an ordinary night. It's got nothing to do with phones being scary. Their brain just built an association, and it doesn't check the time before it reacts. Happiness can work the same way. It's rarely the happiness itself that's the main problem. It's what your brain learned to expect right after it. For some people, there's a second layer to this, and it has nothing to do with waiting for something bad to happen. It's the belief that they don't deserve the good thing in the first place. Say you just got promoted. Your manager tells you you have earned this. Your co-workers congratulate you. You smile, you thank everyone, and on the drive home, a different thought shows up. They probably overestimate me. Eventually, they will figure out I got lucky. The promotion changed what other people believe about you. It didn't touch what you believe about yourself. There is a version of this that shows up almost daily. Someone tells you you did an amazing job, and you answer, it wasn't that hard. Someone says, you look really happy lately, and you laugh and say, just wait until next week. Someone tells you you deserve this, and within a second, you're already listing the reasons you probably don't. The compliment doesn't get rejected outright. It just gets quietly explained away so fast that most people never notice it happening. It's worth noticing how differently people treat bad news versus good news. Something goes wrong and it's instantly believable. Of course that happened. That's just my luck. Something goes right and suddenly it needs an explanation. They don't know the whole story. Anyone could have done what I did. Bad news gets accepted on the spot. Good news gets interrogated. Sometimes this comes from watching people you love struggle for years, financially, with illness, with hard seasons that never seemed to end. Your own life eventually gets more stable. You get the good job, you travel, you start having experiences you never had growing up. And then out of nowhere, guilt shows up. And it is not because you did anything wrong, but because some part of you is quietly asking, why do I get to be happy when people I love are still struggling? That kind of guilt is a strange thing to sit with because there's nobody blaming you for it. You're the one holding both feelings at once. Genuinely glad your life improved and genuinely uneasy that it improved while someone else's didn't. That kind of guilt doesn't make happiness feel dangerous. It makes it feel undeserved, which turns out to be its own separate problem. Here's where it gets a little strange though. This pattern doesn't usually show up as someone rejecting happiness outright. It shows up as someone quietly managing it, keeping it smaller than it wants to be. Take someone who is dating a genuinely good person for 6 months. No real problems, good communication. And instead of relaxing as time goes on, they get more anxious, overthinking while sending texts, wondering if their partner is pulling away. Nothing in that relationship actually changed. But what changed is how much they now stand to lose. Or take someone finally doing well at work after years of wanting exactly this role. Instead of settling into it, they start working longer hours, checking emails twice, apologizing for mistake nobody even noticed. They are not lazy. They are terrified of losing something they have worked so hard to build. Success didn't make them feel safe. It made them feel responsible for making sure nothing wrong happens. You can spot the same thing on a vacation. Months of looking forward to a trip, and on day one, instead of actually being there, part of your mind is already on the flight home, or the weather, or what's piling up at work. The vacation hasn't even started, and some part of you has already left it. Or it shows up as distance you create without quite meaning to. A partner says you have seemed a little far away lately. And the honest truth is nothing was wrong until things started feeling unusually close. Someone gets praised at work and immediately starts second guessing every decision they have made since. Someone cancels plans they have genuinely looking forward to for no real reason they can explain. From the outside, those choices looks confusing. From the inside, they usually make a strange kind of sense. If happiness feels unsafe, a little distance can feel like relief. Not because distance actually feels good, but because it feels familiar. Planning ahead is healthy. Being realistic is healthy. The problem starts when preparing for what might go wrong quietly replaces actually being in the moment that's happening right now. So if you have recognized yourself somewhere in this, here's the part that actually matters. This is not the only habit you picked up. It's closer to a prediction your nervous system keeps making. And predictions don't disappear just because you finally understand where they came from. Think about driving the same route home for years. One day, there's a road closure, so you take a different route. The next day, without thinking about it at all, you nearly turn towards the closed road anyway. Not because it makes any sense, because your brain has run that route hundreds of times and it doesn't update on the first try. Emotional patterns works the same way. Your mind isn't always reacting to what's actually happening today. Sometimes it's just running an old route. This is also why the anxious thought often shows up before an actual reason for it. Someone gets good news and immediately thinks it won't last. Ask them what evidence they have that something bad is coming, and most of the time, they won't really have one. The feeling arrives first. The explanation gets built afterward to justify a feeling that was already there. If you have spent years living with stress, peace can genuinely feel unfamiliar. And unfamiliar things tend to grab your attention whether they are good or bad. Move into a quiet neighborhood after years on a noisy street, and the silence might actually keep you up for the first few nights because you're not just used to it yet. Eventually, your brain catches up, the silence never changes, your relationship with it does. Now, the question is, can this actually shift? Of course, it can, but probably not by arguing with the anxious thought every time it shows up. That actually just feeds more attention. It starts with a simple pause. When the good feeling arrives and the nervous thought tries to interrupt it, ask yourself one question. Is something actually wrong right now? Not yesterday, not next week, right now. Sometimes the answer is yes, and that's worth listening to. But a lot of the time, the honest answer is no. And that gap is where you get to practice staying a little longer in the moment than you normally would. This doesn't mean the anxious thought disappears for good. It won't. Some days, good news will still make you nervous. The difference is you will start recognizing that reaction for what it actually is. Not a prediction about your life, just an old habit doing what habits do. And habits can shift slowly, one ordinary moment at a time. Accepting a compliment instead of deflecting it. Finishing dinner without checking your email. Letting yourself laugh without measuring how long it will last. Now let's go back to where we started. The phone call. We would like to offer you a position. You smile, and after a few moments, you are just happy, and then your mind quietly asked, "What if I fail?" At the start of this video, that thought probably felt completely normal. Right now, it might look a little different. Your mind wasn't trying to ruin the good news. It learned a long time ago to brace for what actually came next. It just never got the update that today's life doesn't run on those same rules anymore. Because maybe the goal was never to convince yourself that nothing bad will ever happen again. That's not really realistic. The goal is smaller than that and a lot more useful. Stop letting the fear of some future pain quietly take the joy that's actually sitting right in front of you. Happiness was never asking you to trust the future. It is only asking you to show up for today.